Welcome back to the Basement Boys podcast and this week's free episode. If you want bonus episodes every week, check out patreon.com/basementboyspodcast, where we upload an additional weekly episode for $2 a month. You can also get access to bonus footage and behind the scenes. Regardless, we appreciate all your support, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome back.
I'm never back.
Hi, Zach. Hi, Zach. I came home for like 3 days, and then I gotta go away again. But I
gotta go away this time.
I enjoyed my vacation. I went on a little mini vacation. By vacation, I mean I went home to my parents' house to get out of this apartment for the first time in weeks. And it was lovely. I got to celebrate my birthday. Got to eat a lot of pizza and desserts.
I love pizza.
A lot of desserts. I also I chefed up some Mexican food. It was a little spicy though. So
American Mexican food? Or
American Mexican food.
Of course.
American Mexican food. Listen, real Mexican food is way too spicy for me. And I actually like spice. But I don't know what they do. I don't know where they find these ingredients. But it's a lot. It's a real hot pot. Alright, so
Humdinger of a heater.
I'm really excited though. Because I recently bought accessories for a GoPro. Alongside your help. And that's because
Alongside your help.
That's because we're getting a GoPro, which means we can finally do so much more that we wanted to do for this podcast.
But also we have less that we can do.
Yeah. Well, what? No.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just instantly improv is always supposed to be yes and. You're supposed to build off things. And that's what I just default go to. I'm like, yeah. But then I realize halfway through
I bamboozled you.
I realize halfway through that you've just said something stupid.
Well, because we can't do GTA podcasts now.
We could still do GTA podcasts.
We can't. It's off the table.
That was a lot of fun. And we also got
yeah.
We got a whole BTS video out of that podcast. For those of you who aren't aware of what we're talking about, the last Patreon episode we did of the podcast was recorded in the video game GTA, where he just kind of tried to drive around almost legally, with the exception of speed limits, because
fuck the speed cars go in GTA 5.
Yeah, the way speed works in GTA 5 is so difficult that if we wanted to go the speed limit, we'd just have to constantly tap the W button.
Yep.
Which is annoying.
Once every second.
Yeah, it's too difficult, and there also really isn't a speedometer.
There is
readily.
if you go into first person
view. Yeah, but not readily available.
Who goes into first person view in GTA?
It's not good for the podcast to go into first person because then
it
looks horrible. So we recorded it from third person, which honestly, the podcast looked really nice. It was a lot of fun. But the whole reason we recorded a driving podcast in the video game GTA is because we were not able to record a car podcast, which is something we've talked a lot about. And this GoPro that's coming in, hopefully this weekend, as long as shipping doesn't get delayed, will allow us to do car podcasts. But it also brings up kind of a dilemma, because we're now 8 episodes into this, and we've consistently done all 8 in the studio. So the question becomes, do we break that cycle to do a car podcast here or there?
Yes.
Okay. Or do we only do car podcasts for Patreon videos and for Patreon episodes? So we kind of made a poll on our Patreon about that, and we're hoping to see some feedback. It's very easily the safe option of just we can do car podcasts for free episodes and Patreon episodes.
Yeah.
As that's the most fair. But I'm curious what other people think. It doesn't have to be a one-dimensional kind of only get to do car podcasts for 3 episodes or only get to do car podcasts for Patreon episodes. However, it was kind of neat to finally do a poll for the first time in our podcast to see what other people think. So that'll be interesting. Yeah. I'm just super excited to finally do car podcasts. So I had Zach invest in an extra rechargeable battery for the GoPro and a mount that we can hopefully use in the car. And then I invested in a chest mount for the GoPro for the sole purpose of recording roller coaster footage. That way, because that's the best way to do it that I could find. Oddly enough, with how big the roller coaster community is, I could not find a concise kind of guide to how, in order to record roller coaster footage.
Yeah.
Everyone was so vague. I don't know if it's kind of like...
They want to keep people out.
Yeah,
They want to keep people out, and this is the wall. They're going to be like, the second you upload, they're going to start bullying you about how you're using a chest mount instead of a head mount.
But, like, it literally felt like I was trying to discover some industry secret of how to record, if I could enunciate, how to record roller coaster footage. And I couldn't find it.
You purchase a crash dummy, and you pay for a ticket for that to come in, and then you put that in the roller coaster with the camera in the mouth.
Oh, my God.
That's how you record roller coasters.
It was frustrating. I was actually getting a little mad. I'm like, why do none of these big roller coaster YouTubers or, Twitter users talk about what they use to record their footage? So I went with the safe option, in my opinion, which is the GoPro, and then a chest mount for it that the GoPro will attach to. The only problem I see with that is some roller coasters have restraints. The restraints that come over your shoulders and a little bit too in the way. I can't think of any at our hometown amusement park. I can't think of any of it at our home park that have restraints like that, but I know of some roller coasters at other parks where it could be a difficult situation. I don't know. I mean, you are right that the head strap does seem like the better option.
Well, the head strap is more readily you're gonna lose your GoPro.
Yeah,
and then the chest strap is more readily you won't be able to look around on the roller coaster. You won't be able to there may be some rides that you can't see because of the restraints.
Yeah.
I actually had a thought that part of the reason that it might not be as readily available is because the roller coaster YouTube community is probably more of a niche than any other YouTuber we've watched. Because every other YouTuber we've watched is just like Gus Johnson, for example, is just if you want to record comedy sketches, just grab your phone and start recording.
No, I get that, and it is definitely a niche community, and I'm mostly joking. I don't think they're actually trying to hide their recording setups from people.
I think it'd be funny if they were. You just get a gang of them roll up to you in your first outing. They're trying to make videos for YouTube.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, we can't have that.
I just have Airtime Thrills.
Jump him.
Airtime Thrills, El Toro, Ryan, and all the boys come and jump me. No, I don't think they're trying to hide it purposely. I just think because it's such a niche community.
It's not something that their fans are hey, we actively seek to replicate this.
Yeah, I guess everyone either knows the information already and I'm just the idiot, or it just isn't something they talk about. But I went with the chest mount because you are right. The head mount would be better, especially for getting perspectives. You can turn your head and look at certain things as you're riding past them on a roller coaster.
There's always the option for a second GoPro.
I'm not getting a second GoPro right now. Oh boy. Listen, you might have got a raise, but I lost all of my income with this coronavirus. Someone got a raise with the coronavirus. Another one sitting here. I won't say who, but one of us sitting here. Again, not going to say who. Would never say who. But one of us here does not have a job because of the virus.
That makes it sound like the virus is the reason I got the raise, when in reality I actually got promoted.
He only got the raise because I lost my job.
I actually took Caleb's job.
Oh,
it's
God.
wild that without any college education of any sort, I can do journalism.
Oh, God. I would like to see you as a journalist, Zach.
That would be the worst.
But
it'd be no, I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but fuck this guy. Honestly, he's a bitch.
Oh, man. You'd be the Keemstar of the published media world. One of two negatives I thought of with the head strap, though. Well, I guess three, because you just brought up one that I didn't really think of. Is it's less stable than the chest strap. So what I mean is it could fly off your head. Now, obviously, if you're putting it on real tight, it won't fly off your head. But one,
skull-crushingly tight?
Yeah, one, I have already bad hair, and then I can only just imagine how worse it would get with a GoPro strap just squeezing it all into certain spots and formations.
You can mount it to the bill of your hat.
Well, and that's the other thing I was going to say is I like to wear hats everywhere. Obviously not on the roller coasters themselves, but if I'm waiting in line for a roller coaster, waiting half an hour to actually get on the ride, I'm going to be wearing a hat. One, because I don't like my hair, again, and two, because it blocks the sun out. So I'm not getting too hot and sweaty. And therefore, the head mount just didn't make sense. I also got worried because a lot of roller coasters have like head banging depending on the restraints. If they're over the shoulder restraints and they're very bulky, you oftentimes have your head like bounce back and forth between them, which is not good for the footage. If it's on my head and my head is
just,
if I'm wearing the GoPro on my head and I'm ultimately becoming a bobblehead in that moment, playing Pong with myself, like I don't know, I didn't like that. So I went the chest mount because it felt safer. I also thought, and you disagree with me on this when we talked about it, I thought the chest mount would look less cringy to walk around the amusement park with than wearing it on my head. But
so my opinion on that is like the more like streamlined you can make your recording setup look like to other people in public, the less cringy it is. And while a chest mount is like probably a better, more stable recording setup, everybody's looking at you, this guy with this like camera strapped to your chest, ready to go. Whereas like with the head mount, you can just...
Yeah, that's true. You can just pop it off. I mean, I agree somewhat. And that's something I also considered because the amusement park...
But another like disadvantage of the head mount, sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Is like you would have to like take your hat off and put it on. So it's like, all right, hold up, hop in, hold the ride, take my hat. All right.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
It's while it. I
also,
agree,
I assume you're gonna go front seat every time.
For like some videos, sure. I mean, the one video we've talked publicly about, so I don't mind kind of spoiling it again because we've already spoiled it many a time.
Double spoiled.
The one video we plan to do is go to an amusement park and ride the same ride over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And the point of that video is to see how many times to get as many rides in one day of the same ride. So if we're going front seat every ride for that video, we're not going to get as many rides in.
Right.
Because it's going to be longer lines for front seat. So for like a video like that, not every ride might be front seat.
Yeah.
But at least like the first one would be.
Every seat front to back.
That's something I thought about. Dude, we're literally on...
Go on the ride
like
multiple times, and you have to sit in every seat.
We're on parallel mindsets. My idea for that video that I thought of 2 nights ago was what if like the first ride we do in the first seat and then second seat, second ride, and just kind of like shuffle back. I don't know.
You do get to choose your seat in most roller coasters, right?
Yeah, most. I mean,
because I do know there's like one or two where it's like where they just kind of like disperse you. But I'm thinking of like the log flume.
Well, log flume, is a ride where that happens a lot, but
you can choose the front, the back, or the middle somewhere. Yeah.
But we would be able to decide. So that's one really cool thing. I guess that's the thing I didn't think of either that you just brought up, which is wearing it on, like buying, if I bought the head mount instead, which I could still buy whenever I make money in the future.
Yeah.
I could still buy in the future when I have money. But buying the head mount would be nice because then you can just remove it when you're walking around the park, which doesn't look cringy because like you don't have to wear it 24/7 like you would a chest mount per se.
Right.
But it is also annoying to have to apply the head, like put the
once your chest mount is like set up, you're good to go. But like every time you'd have to like head mount, look to the guy next to you, make sure it's straight.
Yeah, make sure that it's tight enough.
And if that's a random, oh no.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, is my GoPro facing forward?
The only thing I've thought about, like I've tried to think about every aspect of this, the positives and negatives, and one thing I saw on forums is the Cedar Fair parks, which are a chain owned by Cedar Fair. I don't know why I said that. That was the most obvious ass shit.
The Cedar Fair parks, owned by Cedar Fair.
Trying to get the
run
essay.
By Cedar Fair.
Trying to get the essay to 5,000 words.
Yeah.
They have very strict requirements on not filming other guests. So, like, you can film the rides, but they don't want you filming other guests. And that would be annoying because then I'd have to take the chest mount off.
Yeah.
When I'm, like, walking around the park.
Well, you could get a little, like, rig a lens cap to it.
Yeah, because one of the Cedar Fair parks, one of the worst Cedar Fair parks, is probably the second closest amusement park to us, which is Dorney Park. Okay. I don't know if I would get crap from them, but I don't want to risk it. So I probably would buy the head mount for a park like that.
Yeah.
When ever I get another paycheck in my bank account, which seems like never at this point.
If that happens.
It seems like never again in my life will I have cash coming into my bank account. No, I don't know. But our home park, the one we plan to record most of these amusement park videos at, does not have those rules and requirements. So I could wear it around my chest and probably not get any trash from anyone. And if an employee did try to give me crap, or another guest gave me crap, I have a lot of easy excuses that I've used before when recording in public. If an employee gave me crap, simply, it's not the rules. But a lot of my fallback excuses are, if someone's like, oh, don't record me, just simply say you're not recording right now. If they try to stop you and say, like, oh, do you have a permit? One of the best go-tos to get out of that excuse is like, oh, this is just for a school project.
Yeah.
And, like, what are you going to do? Jip me out of my university grade?
Yeah.
I'm paying thousands of dollars to go to university, and you're going to make me fail my video editing class that I totally have? No. So I've thought a lot about it, but to get back to the main point of, like, finally getting this GoPro and buying accessories for the GoPro as almost a birthday present to myself,
Yep.
I'm very excited. The car podcast should finally be happening. It's kind of cringy to me looking back and rewatching the first episode of this podcast because we talked about, we're going to do a car podcast.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be one of the next episodes.
My hands aren't small, they're huge.
I think we said literally, like, if
next episode, if it wasn't episode 2, it was going to be episode 3.
If we don't do the car podcast for episode 2, it'll be episode 3. And then here we are in episode 8. And we've only recorded these episodes in the studio. But yeah, that's going to be dope. I mean, we did technically do one car podcast, okay? We technically recorded one car podcast.
It was audio only.
And yeah, we tried using Zach's Chinese knockoff GoPro, and that camera did not work. So we bought a real GoPro, and now we can do car podcasts. We ended up putting it on the Patreon because it was audio only, and we felt way too bad making one of our official episodes audio only.
Yep.
So it was neat. It was a good experiment, and since
we learned.
Yeah, since we learned that we cannot do any car podcasts with that camera, we had to, shell out.
Reassess our lives.
Yeah, reassess, shell out some money, and get a GoPro, as well as the accessories for it. I just got, like, a clamp stand, which I feel like should be fine.
I think, it should fit fine in my car.
Yeah. So, we have that and the GoPro. Listen, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to finally own a GoPro. I remember being back in, like, middle school and thinking it was the coolest new invention ever. And, like, seeing the original, like, teaser videos that GoPro was putting out. Yeah. Like, people surfing or skateboarding with them.
Oh my god, that's a throwback. I just remembered when I was in, like, my first year in youth group, we always did, like, a giveaway type deal for the Christmas party. Where we would, like, you would put your name in a pot, and then it would be drawn for each of the 3 prizes. So you could put, like, your name once in each prize pool, or you could put it 3 times in one prize pool.
Yeah.
And so I put it once in each one, and it was, this was the year the PS4 came out, so it was a PS4, I think it was a Wii, and then the third thing was, like, a video camera.
Oh, wow.
And do you remember the iFlip video cameras?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. That's what it was, and I won that, and it was broken within a week.
Oh, no, Zach.
It just stopped working.
My church never did anything like that. The only thing I ever won at a church outing was my original, like, first edition Nintendo DS, the really blocky one that had more of the game, like, what am I looking for here? It had more of the plastic DS case than it did a screen. Yeah. Like, the DS would flip open, and the screen would be about 40% of the top half, and the rest of it was just plastic. Like, it looked so wonky. But I won that at a different church, like, which was honestly, I felt so bad about it. I went to one of my friends' vacation Bible schools. Throw back to last episode when we talked about those. I think it was last episode. But I went to a vacation Bible school at a different church, a church I'd never been to before. Showed up for 5 days, and because we also talked about this in the last episode, that vacation Bible schools are pretty much just package plans at this point. Yeah. Like, every church buys the same one. I had already been to my church's vacation Bible school. Vacation. Hey, baby. I'd already been to my church's vacation Bible school. And I learned everything that they were teaching. And all studied all the verses, memorized all the verses. Answered all their Bible questionnaires. And then I go to my friend's vacation Bible school a week later at their church. And it was the same setup. So the way they worked it is you would get points.
You just remembered the Bible verses and won a DS for it.
You would get points for memorizing verses, answering questions correctly, and studying, different passages in the Bible. And I already knew it all, so I didn't even have to do it.
Fantastic.
So I got,
honestly, the move.
I answered everything correctly, got the top prize of a DS, and then never went back to that church.
That's honestly what you got to do these days.
I never went to that church before. Showed up for 5 days to answer some questions, read some Bible verses, win a DS, and then never went back to that church, and just robbed them of
Well, part of the reason my youth group did it was kind of like an event to draw people in, and usually one of the new people would win it, and we're they may never come back, but the whole point of it is to pitch ourselves out to them. So 50% of the time, one of the 4 new people that showed up would win it.
Yeah.
And we knew that it's very likely we'll never see that person again.
I don't know. They never saw me again, I'll tell you that. I took that DS and I ran with it. I miss that DS. I still have it, but it's so far gone, so broken. The touchscreen is, and it's not a calibration issue where you can fix it by recalibrating it. It is just straight up broken to where if you touch this touchscreen in the center of the touchscreen, it'll think you're touching 2 centimeters to the left.
Yep.
So I would play Mario Party on that touchscreen, and if it was a drawing game where I just say draw a star in the center of your screen, I'd be drawing the star on the right side of my screen, and the touch screen would be drawn it would be actually in the game drawing in the center.
I had
it was so bad.
I had the Mario 25th anniversary DSi XL.
Oh.
And I loved that thing. And I used it so much that there was a point in the screen that also couldn't be fixed by calibration where the touch point would skip a quarter inch ahead. It would instead of going like that with the stylus, it would go like that.
It would be staggered.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I tried to reset it so many times and it just did not work.
Yeah, that's something that's always confused me is Nintendo makes some amazing game consoles and handheld consoles, but then they have the weirdest glitches. They still...
It's when it breaks, it's gone forever.
Yeah, and the Nintendo Switch, for example, the Nintendo Switch has the classic Joy-Con drift problem.
Yep.
The Wii had a problem oftentimes where it wouldn't read disc cards. That was easy to fix though. And then the DSs, I had me and a lot of my friends, and you included, had touchscreen problems. I don't get it, man. Nintendo is by a lot of people not regarded as the best video game company. But
they do the most innovative shit.
Yeah, and I think it's because their products are so wonky sometimes. Nintendo could easily overtake Sony and Microsoft and PlayStation and Xbox if they were just putting out super high quality devices as far as how long they last. As far as actually doing what they're supposed to do the entire time you own them. But they don't. Nintendo, they put out good, really fun game consoles, but they are not built to last.
Yeah.
And it bums me out.
They're essentially kids' toys.
And that's why a lot of people regard PlayStation, Xbox as better than Nintendo consoles. I don't know. It just frustrates me because I want Nintendo to succeed, but it's almost they don't want themselves to succeed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'd be so funny. I really wish you didn't break that iFlip camera that you won back.
I didn't break it. It broke. It just happened.
I'm wishing you didn't break it because then we could have just used that for the car podcasts.
That thing is so out of date.
It'd just be 360p. Oh.
I think it was 480p fucking... oh my god. So it was you would hold it vertically.
Yeah.
And it was I think it was the 3x4 screen.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Dude, Okay, I'm bidding right now, but honestly, truthfully, I would love to record a podcast in like an old camcorder.
Yeah.
To get that kind of vibe with it.
Yep.
That would be a lot of fun. I'll try to see if I can find any at my parents' house next time I'm home, which is going to be quite soon, actually, as I have to help my sister finally move out of her dorm because she wasn't allowed to go back in with the virus.
Right.
But, I know the virus hasn't cooled down much at all, but her school's kind of just gotten to the point where their students' stuff has been locked in the dorms for months now. They kind of have to let her out, which I think is so stupid. Like, my sister has a lot of her, like almost half of her clothes at that dorm, and she's not allowed to go back to it for 2.5, 3 months. And they're just not.
That's gonna be fucked up.
I mean, I know.
That's been what you said, 3 months.
Yeah.
That's like the amount of moths that could be in everyone's shit.
Yeah.
How fucked up everyone's clothes could be from like insects getting into that shit.
She's also worried because, again, it's not like she left that stuff there. She came home for spring break, and then during spring break, this is how a lot of schools ended up doing it, which I think was the worst way to go about it.
Yeah.
My sister went home for spring break, and then in the middle of spring break, her school was like, "Oh yeah, you're not coming back.
Yeah,
like we're not going to let the virus spread here."
Stupid as shit.
So she wasn't like if she would have known that she wasn't coming back, she would have brought all that stuff home with her.
Yeah.
So like one of the things she's worried about, she had like leftover chilies in her fridge.
Oh no.
Which like if they kept the, electric going during it,
not a problem.
it might be okay. Not okay to eat, but like
okay to throw away without being a fucking toxic bomb.
Yeah, without vomiting. But if they didn't like keep their electricity running in the dorms to save money and like their refrigerator turned off, that is gonna be a yikes.
Oh no.
And I told her I'm not helping her move that out.
Yeah, no.
But
that's awful.
But yeah, I would absolutely love to, when I go home this weekend to help my sister move, look for an old camcorder. And also, it's kind of nice I'm going home because that's when the GoPro is supposed to be shipped in to my parents' house. Mm-hmm. I don't ship things here because our apartment complex, things get stolen too frequently.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go home and pick up this GoPro. I'm loving it, man.
It's never happened to any of us, right?
It has.
Oh.
Yeah. Not to me, but one of our roommates. And it makes sense that packages get stolen here.
Well, because it's either on the front doorstep.
It's the dumbest mailing system ever.
Or it's in a, like, slightly bigger box than the mailbox that you share with 4 other houses.
Oh, honey, you're incorrect. They, either leave it on the doorstep, which I've never been a fan of. Like, I think that's super duper risky. Whenever I order something expensive, I make sure to specify, like, I want to sign for this.
Yeah.
Do not leave it at the doorstep. But they either leave it at the doorstep, and then, you're right, we have this bigger kind of mailbox, but we don't share it with 4 other houses. We share it with, like, 15 other houses.
What the fuck?
So, like, 16 houses share this one mailbox as our dog is just running back and forth. 16 houses share this one giant mailbox that can fit bigger packages. And they all have the same key for it. So, like, realistically,
awesome.
If I want to try and make a quick buck, every day I just go outside, check that mailbox. If there's a package in there, oh, well, I had the key for it. It's mine now. Like, I don't...
Yeah.
It's the dumbest mailing system. But, yeah, I'm going home to get the GoPro, help my sister move. I get to bring Bowser home with me so he has some fun times to go play with the other dogs. I feel bad for him sometimes here at this apartment because he'll just look so bored. But it's kind of his fault as well. Like, he'll look really bored, and I think it's because he doesn't have other people, like, other dogs to play with. But, like, I'll try to play with him, and he's like, no, I don't want you. I want one of my own. I want my own kind.
my own people.
So, yeah, I'm bringing him home. He can play with my parents' dogs. That'll be fun. I just... Dude, I'm excited. I know I sound like a giddy Catholic schoolgirl this podcast, talking about this GoPro.
And you are a giddy Catholic schoolgirl this podcast.
But I'm excited to record roller coaster footage, which is, like, topics we've been talking about since the beginning of this podcast. Another topic we had talked about a lot was McDonald's stories back at the beginning of this podcast.
Yep.
And I have another one for this episode, one I had hinted at a couple times now, which is I have never really witnessed a crackhead up close and personal until the last time I've been, like, sat inside McDonald's.
Oh, no.
So obviously it was a couple months ago now because, restaurants have not allowed you to sit down and eat. Makes sense. That's a good change. But the last time I did go sit down and eat at McDonald's was with one of my old roommates as kind of just a way to hang out, catch up. Hadn't seen him in a while. And we sit down, and then immediately I regret my decision because this lady shows up and sits at the table right behind us and more or less behind me. So like my roommate could see her at all times with his seat, but then my seat being parallel to him and opposite to him, I could not see her. I could just hear everything she was doing.
Oh no.
And this lady was clearly on drugs. And it had to be hard drugs. Like hard drugs. That's why I said crackhead. Like, I don't have a lot of experience firsthand with crack, but that was it. Like, she ordered, it was like fries and nuggets. And sat down, and in about 2 minutes, had all of her food just thrown about the table. She, oddly enough, had 3 cell phones, none of which were like smartphones, all like old
flip phones.
Flip phones. I'm failing to enunciate this podcast.
That's okay.
I don't know why the spirit of Mike Tyson has just kind of overtaken me. But
it's Mike Tyson mysteries.
She had 3 flip phones just out on the table as well, and then all of her personal belongings in her bag just thrown on the table. And this lady looked insane. She must have been pretty old, like late 40s, early 50s. Looked insane. And then she was just kind of like mixing them up on the table. Like personal possessions. Like how
Will I eat my nail polish or a fry?
Like how a child shuffles a card, like a deck of cards, where you just throw it on the table and swirl it around and then kind of put it all back together.
Yeah.
She was doing that with her personal possessions, fries, nuggets, and 3 flip phones, just swirling them around the table.
Will I bite into a nugget or a flip phone? Only time will tell.
And the reason I know all this, because like I said prior, I was not facing her. The reason I know this is I was getting up a lot because I was very uncomfortable that was happening 2 feet away from me, and I couldn't see it. So I'd get up a lot to like grab a napkin or refill my drink, even though it wasn't empty. Like I was getting up a lot. I did not like the fact that she was
sip like one sip of your drink and then go refill it.
I did not like the fact this lady was in my blind spot. But she was doing that for a while, and then eventually she got up and started pacing back and forth around her table, just singing to herself. And it wasn't real songs. It wasn't even real words. Awesome. She was just singing gibberish to herself.
And the McDonald's just allowed this to happen.
I mean,
at a certain point, you do hold the right to kick someone out, especially when they're acting like that.
True, but what do you expect? It's McDonald's. I don't think any of those teenage employees are going to care enough to do something about it.
True, I guess.
But yeah, it was bad. Oh my god, and I've wanted to tell that story for so long, but every time we bring up like fast food horror stories, I end up telling some other story like about that horrible Karen, or the time I had.
That shit pisses me off.
I don't know why. Maybe I'm just unlucky.
When I worked at Walmart, I experienced so many of them. Where like I worked in the dairy cooler, and like they would just open the door and shout in there and be like, "Do you have any of this?" And I'll be like, "Is it on the shelf?" And they're like, "No," and I'm like, "Then we don't have it."
Yeah,
I'm not that bad at keeping up with stocking the shelves that it's not going to be on the shelf on a fucking Wednesday at 2 p.m.
I don't know if I get like unlucky and have to deal, or at least be around the worst people ever when I go out in public, or if like the human race is just that disrespectful. But whenever I go inside a McDonald's to order, there's like a 50% chance I'll hear someone complain about their food. Yeah. And like want new food, or like complain about their fries being cold. Or if I go to like Walmart, I'll see people. I've seen some of the most disgusting stuff at Walmart.
Oh my god, I hate with a passion the fucking like teenagers that put their girlfriend in the shopping cart and just fucking run around, or like ride the electric scooters for the elderly and paralyzed.
I always have kind of an internal struggle. I'm torn when I walk into Walmart because I want those prices, but I know I'm going to be disgusted the entire time I'm in there.
Yep.
There's one time I was at a Walmart and I saw a kid straight up like pull a can of soda off its little plastic container. I saw him pull like a tiny can of soda off, take a couple sips out of it, and then when his mom saw what he was doing, she told him to stop, and he just put this opened half-drank can of soda on a shelf and left it there.
Yep. Because there's like a McDonald's and a Starbucks and shit right next to the Walmart I used to work at, you would just find these like half-drunk cups of Starbucks on the shelf that had been there for hours.
It's, I don't know. I have so many horror stories of disgusting human beings I've seen out in public, and it amazes me that people can be that obnoxious. It's just like have any self-awareness and respect for others, simply.
Yeah. I think the least self-aware person I've ever seen was when I was in like 7th grade. My dad took me to my first ever concert, and it was like this Toby Mac concert, and we got like Shut up. That's what I was raised on.
I love me some Christian rock, baby.
Some Christian contemporary music, dude. And then like Skillet was also headlining. But we went to like the meet and greet beforehand, and this lady like raises her hand to ask a question, and they call on her, and she's like, "Hi, Toby, I'm such a big fan. I named my dog not just a Jesus Freak TM, but we call him Toby Mac for short." And I'm like, oh no. And like my dad pulls me closer, and like security is forming a perimeter around this lady, and the guy fielding the questions is like, oh no. And she's like, "And I brought you some cheese that I aged in a cave by my house, and some ostrich meat." And I'm like, what the fuck? Why do we have that here in America? Like, aren't ostriches indigenous to Australia? And she's like going on and on. She's like, "I actually have a picture of my dog. If you could sign it, that would be great." And the guy, like, she like starts moving towards the stage to like hand off the picture. And the guy's like, "Yeah, we'll make sure that gets handled for you. Thanks." And like... The lead singer for Skillet was also taking questions, and he's just kind of looking at like Toby Mac like, "Oh, these are your fans, okay."
Yeah, some people are just they don't understand how to exist properly.
And I just thought it was fucking wild that like this is my first ever concert, and I've gone to many other events with like meet and greets and shit, and like famous people, and everyone is acted normal around them.
Yeah.
This one lady is just like the outlier that I'm like, okay, people like this exist. They could be anywhere. I'm terrified of that.
Yeah, and I mean, oh god, I think it's so obnoxious and cringy to like obsess that much over like celebrities or people who have fame.
Especially like Toby Mac, of all celebrities, is like a B-tier like Christian celebrity, and yeah, he topped Billboard charts for like a week, but no one remembers that.
Yeah, it's just like, and I shit so much on this show, The Masked Singer. I think it's the dumbest thing.
Well, Ninja is the Masked Singer.
Kill yourself. I think it's the dumbest thing, and like to me that show is just celebrity judges feeding the egos of celebrities singing in masks, and then you find out who they are, and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe it's you. You're so cool. That's such a good song. You're so so pretty." No, I don't fucking care. Like, I think celebrity culture is so obnoxious and toxic and unnecessary. Like, it's unnecessarily...
Especially during the coronavirus, where it's like, "Oh, I'm so bored wandering around in my 3-story mansion, and we're all in this together." And, like, some people are cooped up, 7 of them, in a fucking 1-story rancher.
Well, my point, is I just... The idea of, like, being so... like fantasized and like being a fanatic of a celebrity disgusts me.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of YouTubers, Twitch streamers, and even some like like sports players
Yeah.
that I enjoy. But I've thought about this a lot. I've never really seen anyone famous out in the real world, but I've thought about it a lot. And if I did, I think it's very likely I just wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
Because I'd be too uncomfortable, and I don't want to like ruin their day or like interrupt their time. And also, I'm not gonna be that person that like freaks out over celebrity, because that's just another human being, dog.
Well,
like that's just another person. You
Yeah.
are screaming, losing self-control over another human being that's pretty much the same as you. The only difference is they're not a fucking idiot.
yeah.
So like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And like, I don't know, almost the contrast of that, opposite end of the coin, that worries me is if like we ever do, if we ever get any semblance
Any
of
sort of traction
of internet fame,
we're gonna have to deal with those people,
and
we're
I don't
gonna have to pretend to be nice.
I don't want to pretend to be nice. I don't want to ever be fake, but I also don't want to be an asshole.
No, yeah.
Like, I've never, back when I was popular on YouTube and I was getting like tens of thousands of views on videos before it all fell apart.
Before I lost my grip.
Back when I was popular on YouTube, I never met anyone who watched my videos, but one of the people who I was friends with, one of my close friends in high school, met one of my fans unintentionally. And it was at an anime convention, I think it was. I'm blanking right now. I'm blanking. So my friend was at an anime convention, waiting in line to get something signed by a voice actor.
Right.
And again, I'm missing some of the big details because it was forever ago.
Yeah.
Again, this is back like 5 years ago when I was getting those kind of views on YouTube. She was waiting in line to get something signed, and the person behind her in line opened her phone and started watching one of my videos, and she recognized my voice. So my friend turned around and like, hey, I know that guy. He goes to my school. And the girl who was watching my video was like, oh, really? Like, is he cool? How is he? And because my friend is just not nice,
Oh, yeah.
she goes, oh, he's an asshole, and turned back around and stopped talking to her. So I've never met any of my fans, sounds obnoxious, and I'm not going to use that word, but I've never met any of my followers or subscribers out in the real world. But one of my friends has, and probably destroyed my image for them.
Yeah.
Which feels bad, honestly. But
That's actually the reason you lost your whole following.
that's
That one person was like going on forums like, man, this guy's apparently an asshole in real life.
it's the straw
And
that
your
broke.
friend's just like sitting there like,
It was the straw that broke the camel's back.
yep.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm trying my hardest to regain that kind of
Yep.
popularity on YouTube, but it's a struggle.
We should have rode the Redneck Gamer wave when we had the chance.
Yeah, the Redneck Gamer should have rode the Redneck Gamer wave.
Yeah. He still has that fucking wave to ride, and he will not.
For those of you who don't know, Redneck Gamer is one of our close friends from high school, and he, of the three of us,
Was the most popular.
he got the most popular towards the end. Because like I said,
Yeah.
I got
You
really
were the most popular at the start.
I
of
was the
Minor
most popular
Monsters.
in total,
Yeah.
but it was like kind of like a
it
flash.
was a slower burn.
It was for him. It
Yeah,
was
for
a
him.
flash fire for me. Like, I got really popular. I was getting tens of thousands of views for like a year, and then not even a year, and then it fell off. Meanwhile, he like slowly exponentially grew, which is the better way to do it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I would have done it that way if I could control my.
If I had control, that would have been the one
If
I
I
chose.
had if I had control of my YouTube subscribers and how they treated me, I would have.
No, guys, hold off for like 6 months, okay?
Yeah. A team, I want you to wait 3 months to start watching me. B team, wait 6 months, and we'll start making this exponential growth. But
Yeah.
our friend Redneck Gamer, who went to our high school, was getting that kind of slow exponential growth. And then he also stopped uploading, like all of us have at this point.
Yeah, but he was at his biggest. He was big enough to be invited to a Minecraft convention.
Yeah. He was big enough to be invited to a
was
Minecraft
wild.
convention. And, I mean, I'm not judging him. I'm not, like, upset that he stopped uploading. It's, you know, if he didn't want to upload anymore.
Yeah, his life is his.
I respect his choices, but I don't know. He was becoming easily the most popular person in our friend group, in our circle,
Yeah.
on YouTube, and he was the first to stop uploading.
Yep.
And I was like, oh wow, that's unexpected.
That's wild.
Got Zach over here still uploading.
Still uploading Shiny 2864 videos.
And
Loki speed runs.
And he's only at 29 subs. But
I should actually try again.
you should really... You haven't uploaded in 3 years on your first channel.
Fuck.
And you haven't uploaded in a year on your second channel.
Fuck.
I know I took, like, months off during...
Alright, it's time for a fucking resurgence. Let's bring back SMP.
Yeah, dude. I need you to start uploading again. I miss your channel. Because even though you didn't have a lot of subs, you had some of the best content in our entire group, in my opinion. I thought it was so funny.
I mean, I disagree. It was just kind of me being salty about everything that happened, regardless of whether or not it was good or bad.
Well, talking about Minecraft and, like, the old days, I wrote down as one of the topics, which I didn't think we would actually get to. I thought it was a stupid topic, but we kind of perfectly...
I've been actively trying to feed us into this topic because I don't know what it is, but I want to. Tell me.
So, we got... The biggest drama I think we got into publicly back in our YouTube years, in our Minecraft years, was drama with another Minecraft group who I want to name, and I actually wrote down their name as the topic, but I'm not gonna because I don't want to bring up old drama. I don't want people to, like, go attack them. But we played...
I'll attack them myself personally, and then if you want to join in, you can.
We played in a Minecraft tournament where the theme was different groups of Minecrafters. So, like, our group was called Hazardcraft. Our group, Hazardcraft, played in a tournament where we competed against other groups, one of which, who I still am friends with a lot of the members of, was, like, Dirt was their group name.
Yeah.
And
another
group, who were made nameless, got so pissy at us. And a lot of their members were, like, older, like, adult /
They're like 40, we're like 17.
They were, like, older people in their 30s who were on YouTube playing Minecraft, which I'm not passing judgment. You can be whatever age and play Minecraft. But I'm providing that information as context as to why they may have had this bitterness towards us.
Oh,
But
I know exactly where this is going.
At that point in time, we had made it a meme in our group that everyone was wearing, like, bikini skins.
Yep.
In Minecraft. So our Minecraft characters looked like they were wearing bikinis. And this group of, like, older guys got so mad at us that we were wearing bikinis during this tournament because they thought it was inappropriate, immature, and they didn't want to have to, like, show that to their audience. Again,
first off, we're all going to be wearing armor by the time you actually see us because this is a UHC.
It was a tournament. It was a competitive tournament. We're going to put on armor and, like, make iron and diamond armor.
Secondly, we're like 16, 17 at the time. Did you expect us to act like adults?
But, like, their arguments were so stupid. It's like, yeah, if we have to fight you in the tournament, our viewers are, like, younger. We have, like, young audiences on YouTube. We don't want them to see bikini Minecraft skins. Like,
your audiences are our age, fucker.
No, it was such a bad argument. Like, as though pixelated Minecraft bikini skins would give...
That's going to corrupt a 12-year-old, dude.
Yeah, that's... Listen, I got more turned on by Total Drama Island than I ever would have by a Minecraft skin.
To be fair, every single girl on that show had a great ass and a great rack.
Okay, well, now you made it weird.
You're welcome.
But it just made
my only job.
It made no sense to me. We were wearing, like, it's not like Minecraft has boobs. Like, everyone's a flat, rectangular shaped character.
You're a prism, dude. You're a fucking prism.
We covered up. I don't think that is the word, but that's okay.
I don't know how to read or write.
I wanted you to keep going. To
rectangular prism.
Dig yourself a deeper hole.
A rectangular prism.
Keep digging yourself a deeper hole. I want you to regret the fact that you slept through most of high school. But it was just so obnoxious, and I don't know what they expected to happen. I don't know how they thought they were going to change us. Because, like I said, we were 16, 17. That was back when we were kind of, like, a little bit more, you know, of pranksters, and we would troll a lot. So these guys complaining about our bikini skins only made us want to use them more in that tournament. And we did wear bikini skins. I think
we switched to a more scantily clad skin.
We did. Dude, we did. I forgot. We did switch to an even more, like
it went from like a, I think it went from like a a two-piece bathing suit with like a line of pixels of skin down the middle with like the frilly like little like thing that your mom would wear, to like, all right, I'm a 20-year-old girl chilling on the beach in Italy.
Yeah, because I remember our original design that we had like all been wearing, it was kind of like a more fashionable, almost like 1950s bathing suit.
Yeah.
Like, we thought it was really funny. And then when they complained about it, we switched all of our skins to like straight up Sports Illustrated bikini edition. Yep. Oh my god, it was hilarious.
It was great.
Yeah, it's funny how that's kind of the biggest YouTube drama we ever got into.
We did.
The biggest YouTube drama we ever got into was a bunch of older guys, like some of them in their 30s and 40s men, getting mad at us for wearing bikinis in Minecraft.
Yep.
Oh. Anyways, do you want to finish out with your 1-2 punch of topics?
My 1-2 punch of topics? I'd love to. So I've had a lot more personal drama, generally with people I hate.
Okay.
One person I particularly don't like, was under the impression that I didn't like him because I thought he was going to steal Cheyenne away from me. And this is like, he's got like long hair and a beard, and it's like he doesn't keep himself well at all.
Hold up, I don't mean to interrupt your story already, but a guy who had the ego to think he was going to steal your girlfriend but didn't want to was creating drama unnecessarily. He
thought that I thought that he thought that I didn't like him because I thought he was going to steal my girl. But realistically, I didn't like him because he did shit like Cheyenne got like a new sweater and it was like flowy and long and like you could spin in it and it would like spin around. And he asked her to try it on. And then he like spun in it and fucking like did a bunch of other weird shit like that.
In her clothes?
Yeah, he tried on her sweater and he like he was just like weird in that way where he didn't have a problem with like asking her for her sweater, and then like it was like in the middle of winter and the place we were wasn't heated, so she got cold because like he was trying on her sweater.
Yeah.
And then another like fun thing is one of her family friends, like she babysits this lady's kid. This lady's like 30 or something. Like took her out on a double date with this random fucking guy and her boyfriend. Uh-huh. So like her boyfriend and then this random guy and then Cheyenne. And like Cheyenne didn't find out till they were on the way. And she's like, wait, you guys know that, like, I'm dating Zach, right? And her friend's like, oh, I forgot about Zach.
So they set her up with a date with another guy.
Yeah. And at the end of the date or whatever, this guy was like, oh, you're the prettiest girl I've ever seen. And I was... she told me about this, and I'm just like, oh, I can top that compliment. And then
that's just weird. Yeah. That's just cringy.
No, yeah,
that's really weird.
This is like Cheyenne's friends that I have to deal with. But also, I really don't, because I don't talk to either of these people anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have, like, a very dominant personality in relationships. I'm not saying that to be cringy or, like,
I'm just
awkward.
saying I'll never be a bottom.
That's not what I'm trying to say, but also kind of true. But like I'm a very dominant boyfriend, not to like a toxic sense where like you can't talk to any other guys. I don't care. Most of my girlfriend's friends are guys, just because a lot of the girls she used to be friends with are the fucking worst human beings. Like one of her old friends that was a girl tried to tell Abby, my girlfriend, that she'd never been through anything difficult in her life, whilst also having one dead parent. So, like,
that's not difficult.
Most of her friends are guys, and, like, I don't care. I don't care at all, because I know I'm better than all of them. I don't care at all. But, like, I'm very dominant, and, like...
That's my mood, too.
If I were to see someone poaching on my girlfriend, they would be verbally, emotionally, and religiously distraught.
Distraught. Religiously? How the fuck do you do that?
They would lose God that day.
I want to fucking see this happen now. I want to see this series of events play out so I can learn how to make another guy lose God.
But thankfully that hasn't happened yet. But yeah, I'm a very... I don't know. I don't live that sub life, all right? Your boy's not a submissive. Yeah, it's something I really haven't had to deal with like that, where I've had guys trying to wear my girlfriend's clothes.
No, that was just like fucking weird. It's like, just let me try on your jacket. And she's like, okay, fine.
But if some other guy were to try and wear my girlfriend's thong or come into possession of my girlfriend's thong, I can assure you his intestines would be clogged by said thong. So really, he'd get what he wanted. You can have it, but your internal organs are gonna be fuck-ed. So, yeah.
What a fucking note. What a fucking note.
That was a good topic to end on. I'm proud of you, Zach. Usually your topics...
are lackluster.
They concern me.
Yeah, well, this one should concern you too.
Oh, man.
Because apparently people just forget I exist as Cheyenne's boyfriend.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
Huh?
I'm sorry to hear that.
I just don't really talk to that person and they forgot.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's... it's definitely an interesting situation.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
This was like months ago, by the way, and I
Most...
just found out.
Oh, you just found out? Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Which is like, it didn't matter because she was like, she basically wrote this guy off the second she saw him as like a neckbeard, double-chinned, grosser
God.
version.
I know a lot of those.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But oh God, we both. I know we both have a lot of cringy stories, so that can be future episodes. Yeah, I don't know. Have a lovely day. We're gonna try to do the same. We're gonna go record a pizza review here soon. I'm looking forward to that.
Do what Barstool couldn't.
Oh God. And we'll see you all later. Peace.
Later.